Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns vs. Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. The WWE Universe has witnessed some legendary matchups over the years, but none as explosive as the night when Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns teamed up against the unholy alliance of Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. In a match billed as the Battle of the Bloodlines, family legacies, power, and pride clashed in a way that no one could have predicted. It was a fight that blurred the lines between allies and enemies, reminding everyone why WWE is the home of storytelling at its finest. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns were never supposed to be on the same team. Their past rivalry was fierce, defined by Rhodes' quest to finish the story and claim the WWE Undisputed Championship from Reigns at WrestleMania 39. Though Reigns emerged victorious that night, the animosity between the two men only grew stronger, fueling months of tension and backstage confrontations. But as the WWE Universe knows all too well, circumstances can change in an instant. With Reigns' bloodline faction fracturing over the past few months, tensions reached an all-time high between Roman and his once loyal enforcer, Solo Sikoa. Solo, the youngest of the Inoue family, had been a silent but dangerous force, carrying out Reigns' will with brutal efficiency. However, cracks began to form as Solo's ambitions became clearer. He was no longer content being the right-hand man. Enter Jacob Fatu, another member of the prestigious Inoue family and an equally dangerous competitor. Fatu, who had made a name for himself in independent promotions, was hungry to prove his worth on the biggest stage of them all, WWE. His arrival shocked the WWE Universe, and even more shocking was his alliance with Solo. Together, they posed a threat to Roman Reigns' iron grip over the bloodline. In an ironic twist of fate, Cody Rhodes, the very man who had been fighting against the bloodline, became Reigns' unexpected ally. Their mutual disdain for Solo and Fatu, as well as the need to protect their legacies, forced them to join forces. Though they were reluctant partners, their shared goal, to end Solo and Fatu's rebellion, made them the ultimate wildcard team. Solo Sikoa had always been a quiet enforcer, but behind that silence brewed a desire for more than just taking orders. The weight of constantly living in Roman's shadow had become too much. Jacob Fatu, with his untamed and rebellious nature, was the perfect ally for Solo's uprising. They didn't see themselves as second best anymore. They saw themselves as the true future of the Inoue dynasty. Fatu, a powerful and agile competitor, brought something wild and unpredictable to the mix. While Solo was calculating and methodical, Fatu was explosive, capable of turning the tide of any match in an instant. Together, they were a force that even Roman Reigns feared, and with their sights set on taking down the tribal chief and rewriting the hierarchy of the bloodline, they were ready to go to war. The anticipation for this monumental match had been brewing for weeks. Tensions between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa had reached their boiling point after Solo and Fatu ambushed Reigns during a SmackDown segment, leaving him bloodied and battered in the middle of the ring. Cody Rhodes, never one to miss an opportunity, made it clear that he didn't trust Reigns, but he also couldn't allow Solo and Fatu to gain more power. "This is bigger than me or Roman," Rhodes declared in a fiery promo on Raw. "This is about stopping a war before it tears everything apart. And if that means I have to stand beside a man I despise, then so be it." Reigns, usually arrogant and dismissive, showed a rare moment of humility, recognizing that he needed Rhodes' help. "I'm not asking you to like me," Roman said in a backstage segment. "I'm asking you to fight with me for one night. After that, we go back to being enemies." The stage was set. On one side, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, two warriors with a shared goal but divided loyalties. On the other, Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, blood brothers, determined to carve out their own place in WWE's history. The atmosphere in the arena was electric as both teams made their entrances. Cody Rhodes, adorned in his trademark red, white, and blue gear, received a hero's welcome from the crowd. Roman Reigns followed, his stoic demeanor masking the underlying tension between him and his tag team partner. On the other side, Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu were met with a mix of boos and cheers. The rebellious duo had gained a cult following, especially among fans who loved their no-nonsense, smash-mouth style of wrestling. As the bell rang, the match exploded into action. Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu started things off, and from the outset, it was clear that this wouldn't be a traditional tag team bout. Fatu's raw power clashed with Rhodes' technical prowess, each man trying to assert dominance early on. Rhodes used his speed to dodge Fatu's powerful strikes, hitting quick jabs and drop kicks to wear the big man down. When Roman Reigns was tagged in, the energy shifted. The crowd watched with bated breath as Reigns came face-to-face with Jacob Fatu. It was a battle of alpha males, with neither man willing to back down. Reigns hit Fatu with a series of stiff punches, but Fatu responded with a thunderous Samoan drop, sending the tribal chief crashing to the mat. The real fireworks began when Solo Sikoa entered the match. The tension between him and Reigns was palpable. They stood nose to nose, the WWE Universe buzzing with anticipation. Reigns was the first to strike, but Solo, fueled by his rage and desire to prove himself, quickly turned the tables. He pummeled Reigns with brutal kicks and strikes, forcing the tribal chief to retreat. Meanwhile, Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu continued to wage war outside the ring. Rhodes, never one to shy away from high-risk moves, launched himself off the top rope, hitting Fatu with a devastating crossbody that sent both men crashing through the announcer's table. As the match neared its conclusion, chaos reigned supreme. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa were trading brutal punches in the middle of the ring. Reigns, visibly exhausted, prepared for a Superman punch, but Solo countered with a thunderous Samoan spike. Reigns fell to the mat, seemingly out cold. Before Solo could go for the pin, Cody Rhodes made a last-second save, hitting Solo with a cross Rhodes from out of nowhere. The crowd erupted as Rhodes and Reigns finally seemed to be working in unison. Jacob Fatu, sensing that his partner was in trouble, rushed into the ring, but Reigns speared him out of his boots. With Fatu incapacitated, Rhodes and Reigns turned their attention back to Solo. In a stunning display of teamwork, Rhodes hit a second cross Rhodes, followed by Reigns' spear. 1, 2, 3. The bell rang, signaling the end of the match. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns had won, but the victory felt bittersweet. As the two men stared at each other, the tension remained, and the uneasy alliance was clear. There were no handshakes or celebrations, only a silent understanding that their war was far from over. The match between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu was one for the ages. It wasn't just about titles or championships, it was about family, legacy, and power. The bloodline may have fractured, but the story of these four men was far from finished. With Solo and Fatu proving themselves as a dangerous duo, and Reigns and Rhodes still at odds, the WWE Universe knew that this was only the beginning of a much larger conflict. And as Roman Reigns walked up the ramp, glancing over his shoulder at Cody Rhodes, one thing was certain: the bloodline's future would never be the same again.